Hey guys, so I just got home from work and I had my first ultrasound today at 6 weeks pregnant. Come with me, my love, to the sea of love. I wanna tell you how much I love you. So here we are, waiting for the ultrasound, and I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm so nervous. Waiting with me. I'm glad he was able to come. So just waiting, and I will record again when she comes in to do the ultrasound.
You can see a yolk sac and not gestational sac. So right now I'm just looking for that fetal pole. There's a little teeny. I don't know if we're going to be able to pick up the heartbeat because it's so small. There's a little flutter there, you can see just here.
Yeah, like the top.
Look right here. I'm not going to be able to pick it up. But it is so early that we'll just bring you back in a week.
Okay. Is it normal for like 6 weeks?
6 weeks you can usually see it and possibly pick it up. It's still really early. So the fact that I'm not picking it up with the pulse wave is still okay at this point. But we can see it.
So did they just want me to come in this early to have a better comparison for next time?
Yeah,
or?
just to watch you really closely. Yeah. Did they tell you to come in at 6 weeks?
Yeah. Last time they had me come in at 7.
Yeah, usually we do 7 because by that time, for sure, that we should see the heartbeat and be able to measure it.
Yeah.
But this is just so early. I'm going to take a measurement of gestational sac.
My stomach's growling, so I don't know if you can hear it, but I didn't want to eat because I was so nervous. I thought I was going to throw up. So,
Okay.
yeah. I'm kind of used to the wand. Might as well be my best friend.
finding that again.
I think last time the angle, we saw it right on top.
So yeah, the pregnancy itself, like I see the fetal pole. It's very, very small. Everything's measuring less than 6 weeks right now. So because your period, that we go off the first day of your period, but it could have been late implantation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's probably why we're not seeing the fetal pole really well at this point, and we're not able to detect the heartbeat, because it still could be too early.
Yeah.
And that's why
And that's kind of best case scenario, but since I've had 3 miscarriages before,
right.
kind of.
And so it's good that we're doing this now, but it doesn't mean that it's not good at this point, you know.
It's still really early.
Yeah, it's still really early is what
But like
I'm
next
saying.
week, it should definitely,
Next week we should see some improvements here. But what I do see is a good gestational sac. I see a good yolk sac. And those are the elements that need to be there in order for the baby to develop. And I do see a small fetal pole. And so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I'm just
you know,
checking back. And that's what they had me do last time.
Yeah, so just hang tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit longer. I know a week is not a little bit. Like, that's probably like a year for you at this point. But I'm just looking at your ovaries really quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, so let's just check back in a week.
Okay.
And see what we see the development. That will give us a good indication of how things are growing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So even though this was a little bit early this time, it gives us a good like jumping point, you know.
Yeah. Kind of like the same thing when they check the
baseline.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All done here.
I don't really know how to feel right now, to be honest. I mean, the people that I've told so far have told me that there is hope and it's still really early. I feel like best case scenario is that the baby just implanted later, which I've heard before. And to me, just from my history and having 3 miscarriages and having babies not show and measure as far as they should, I just don't really have very much hope for that. And I don't know, it's really hard to have hope after all of that. It's really hard to think that it's just a coincidence that, you know, after my 3 miscarriages now, you know, I am having a baby that has implanted later. It's just, to me, I can't have hope for that. It's just, it feels impossible. And I mean, I don't want to give up already. I don't want to, you know, just automatically assume that I'm having another miscarriage. But I mean, honestly, how would you feel? If you know my story so far, I mean, how do you find the hope at this point? And I just, I don't know. I feel like I'm just angry. I'm angry, and I don't understand. And I know there are a lot of things that, we don't understand in this life, and things that we might not ever understand, or we might not get to know until, I don't know. I don't understand, and I wish that I could. This is one thing in life that I wish I could understand why it's happening to me. Like, I haven't felt like this since the beginning, really, because all of my tests have come back normal, but I feel like, what's wrong with me? Why can't my body do this? What is it? I just want to know so I can fix it or I can accept it. I'm tired of hoping for something that might not ever happen and not knowing if it will. It's just exhausting. It's emotionally draining, and I mean physically. I mean, we didn't talk about it in our appointment today, but if it is another miscarriage, they told me after 3 D&C surgeries, that's when it starts to, not be good for you. And it's like, well, what am I going to do? And I'm trying not to let my brain go in all these different directions to think about all that stuff, but it's kind of impossible. And I don't know. In my other videos, I talked about it a little bit, if I would take the medication to make it happen, or if I would just let it happen on its own, but who knows how long it could be. My body doesn't do it on its own. It doesn't, I've never had any bleeding with my miscarriages. It's never happened on its own, because we've always found out from the ultrasounds. And my very first pregnancy, everything was measuring at 7 weeks, and I was already 11 weeks. So from 7 weeks, nothing was happening. And at 11 weeks, my body still didn't reject it. It still didn't, do anything on its own. And so it just freaks me out, and I'm overwhelmed. I know everybody has their trials and hard things that they go through, but I just don't think that it's a bad thing for me to just want to have a baby. And I'm trying to be open to, what can I learn from this? What is God trying to teach me? But it's just, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say anymore, because after you've been through this so many times, it's like you've said it all and you felt it all, and it's just kind of a roller coaster that you keep going on. And some days I'm fine, and some days, like at work I was fine. Maybe it's because I was distracted, I don't know, but just driving home, all these thoughts just came to my head, and I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that I should hold on to the hope because they told me it's still really early, and there's still a chance? Like, I know there's still a chance, but I just feel like, with my luck and with the evidence, my past history, that it's just not likely. And I don't know. Like, really, how would you feel? And would you have hope? I mean, to me, it just seems impossible. And that's where I am now. So I'm going for the next ultrasound on Wednesday, because next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So right before Thanksgiving, I'll find out, if there's any improvement. And if there is, then it'll be a happy Thanksgiving. And if there's not, it'll be a sucky holiday, just like Christmas was last year when I found out about that miscarriage right before Christmas. And my coworker asked me, when is enough? Like, how do you know when to give up? And I said, I really have no idea, because I always feel like giving up when, it happens and it's fresh, but then as time goes by, I'm like, I can do it again. And it's, like I said, it's just this emotional roller coaster, and I feel like I'm bipolar. But I'm really grateful for my friends and family and all the texts and messages that I've gotten throughout everything, just, you know, saying that they're there to support me and love me no matter what. And it means a lot because that's why I'm doing this. You know, it's easier for me to have people know what's going on and to have people to talk to if I want to talk about it and not feel like it's just something I have to keep inside. And I'm just grateful for that, and I appreciate everybody watching and taking the time to, you know, care how things are going. And I mean, obviously I'll update you because I've been updating you guys on everything so far, and there's just not really anything else. There's just nowhere to go from here, to be honest. I feel like the fertility specialist told me, you know, he's tested me for everything from here, and you know, the thing that the two things that they've had me do different this time, that was kind of it. You know, they had me start the progesterone when I ovulated. I did that, and the folic acid, and I've been taking that, you know, from before I found out I was pregnant too. You know, I did that, and I feel like that's the only thing left. Besides, he said that there's some really rare things, and you know, things that are risky to test for or really expensive, and I don't even know what those things are, but he said that everything else has been ruled out, and it's just so frustrating. So that's that. And it's just really hard not to be bitter. It's hard not to just be mad at the people who have the ignorant bliss that they can go through pregnancies and have nothing wrong, and every time it's just exciting. And for me, it's scary. I'm never gonna feel that again. I'm never gonna have that ignorant bliss again, and it just, I'm so bitter about it. I feel like it's so unfair, and as much as it's hard for me to be happy for people who, you know, are having kids and getting their happy endings, you know, deep down I know I am happy, but it's just really hard. It's hard to, you know, look at those people when they have what you want and you've been trying so hard for it. So I just want to say I'm sorry too to those people who, you know, feel like I'm not a nice person. I don't know, but I feel like sometimes I'm just a jerk, and a lot of it is deep down because I'm feeling those things, and I don't know what else to do about it. It's really hard, and I try my best, and deep down really I am happy, but it's hard to let those feelings, you know, break through the bitterness and the anger and, you know, being depressed about it. So, you know, it's hard to understand, but, you know, that's the best I can explain it. So anyway, I think this video is pretty long now. And the only other thing is I found out this cool medicine that exists, and I didn't know. Everybody always talks about Zofran, and it gave me a migraine the only time I tried it. So they asked me if I felt nauseous, and I told them, you know, I have been a little bit, but I don't know if it's because I was nervous or what. But so they told me about this one. I don't even know how to say it, but it's Diclegis. I have no idea how to say it. She said it at the appointment, but I'm not even going to attempt it because I can't. I don't want to butcher it. But it's supposed to work really well. It's a delayed release medication, so you're supposed to take it at night and it helps you sleep, and then in the morning the anti-nausea kicks in. So, you know, if I get the chance to try it, I'm excited to see how it works. And then they gave me some samples of it and then a prescription. And I thought it was kind of cool, but she actually printed out a little picture of my ultrasound, and they hadn't done that before because it's always been bad news, but it's kind of nice to just have them proactively do it. I went and asked for copies of it the last couple of times. So, I mean, well, that was kind of nice, you know, that they figured I might want it, even though it might not end up being okay. So that made me happy. Anyways, I guess I will update you guys next week after my ultrasound on Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and I love all of you guys. Bye.